All right, good evening. Welcome to episode 4 of Left Lane Chronicles. Tonight we're doubling the throttle, doubling the insight, and doubling the legacy. Two storytellers, two glides, one mission. To keep the soul of the road alive, you've seen them out doing the right thing, sharing their miles, their mindsets, and their moments with the world. First up, we got GlideingWithAze, a brother on the move who brings calm, clarity, and cinematic skills to the vlogging game. And alongside him, we've got Gliding-RidingAndSmiling, a writer who proves that joy is a form of resistance and every mile is a message. This isn't about another episode. This is riding along with the legacy in motion. Welcome to episode 4, gentlemen.
Welcome. Appreciate y'all having us. I'm glad to be here. Pretty excited for this episode.
Sorry about that. My mic would fall as soon as we go live, and it's been sitting here all day. Absolutely fine.
I know, guys. Electronics and technology, boy.
All right.
So I don't know. It's not showing. Here, all right, it's showing up now. It was giving us some technical issues. All right. So, fellas, I want to say thank you for joining us tonight. You know what I'm saying? I would say this right here is definitely an honor because both of you bring something valuable to what this YouTube and motovlogging is about. And I just have to start by asking you, Skeeta, you got one of the most positive names on YouTube. Where did that name come from?
So that came from Traveling Tall. He had a saying similar to like my name. So I said, well, let me just flip some things around. And I had a little catchphrase for it, so it kind of flows together. So the easiest way to remember my channel's name, my name is that if you're not riding, what is it? What did I say? I done lost my train of thought. I'm so geeked up being on here.
How'd you get your name?
Yeah.
All right,
Gliding, riding, and smiling. Like I got it from Tall. The saying, because I haven't said it in a long time. What was it? If you're not gliding, you're not riding. If you're not riding, you're not smiling.
Dope.
So,
Oh man,
that's cool.
Yeah. But like I said, Tall has said something similar to that. It's just I just maneuvered some words around. So shout out to Tall. So that's where I got gliding, riding, and smiling from.
And he's still smiling till this day.
Yeah, to this day.
So what's the backstory of your first bike, and like what was your first ride? Take us to that moment that actually had you excited to do this and want to make this something that's a forever thing for you.
So how I got into riding is my cousin, his name is Ken, and he had passed away in 2017, 18, and we was like thick of thieves. You see him, you see me. You see me, you see him. So he was going to teach me how to ride a bike. Like that was his thing. Everything that we did, he taught me. He was like my big brother. He was my cousin, but he was everything in one. A brother, an uncle, a father, a friend. Like he was just everything in one. And his passing, I was like, man, you know what? I'm finna ride. I'm finna learn how to ride. So I went to Harley Davidson, took the class. My first bike was a 2010 Kawasaki Vaquero 900 custom.
Right on.
Then I went to a 96 Kawasaki Vulcan. That was a 1500. Then I said, okay, I need to go a little bigger because everybody in my club got big bikes. I thought I was good with the 1500, but with it being the Kawasaki, I said, So end up buying Lucille from a guy up in Tennessee. So that was about 3-4 years ago.
So which one is Lucille?
Lucille is this one. Lucille is this one. This is a 2007 Electric Glide Ultra Classic.
Ultra classic.
Oh yes, love it.
I had a 89 Ultra Classic. It was chopped out. It looked like a Cholo bike, but that was my baby.
See, look, I had to ask him which one was Lucille because in his video he had gotten confused for a second.
Yeah, I was in that video. I was real tired. That video, I was done. When I say tired, I said, "Damn, that is called Diane Lucille." So Diane came from after I got Diane on Black Friday, and because Lucille, she did her last big ride was Galveston, the Lone Star Rally. I said, "Yeah, if I'm planning on doing this, riding and going places, visiting people and stuff like that, Lucille got almost 200,000 miles on her." So I said, yeah, Galveston is her last one. So I got Diane, and the name Diane came from my aunt. She passed away, and I got her car. So the dealership was like, we can work some things out, I said, the down payment. I said, no. They said, well, you got anything to trade in? Not Lucille. That's not happening. So they was like, you got a car that's not running or something? I said, dude. So I traded in my aunt's car, and so it just felt right. And it just came just like no hesitation, like Diane. So that's me.
That's a deep story, man.
Yeah, that's what's up.
I got some deep stories.
All right, let me start with Haze. So let's start simple. How did GlideWithAze begin, and what's your spark?
GlideWithAze, it really started from my old club. I used to be with South Cat Riders. They basically gave me the name Haze. So that's where it started at, and then later down, I decided, let me think about starting a YouTube channel. So I was like, what am I gonna name it? And I own a 2013 Road Glide CVO, so it just came simple to me. So I was like, just call it GlideWithAze, take everybody on the journey with me. And it just made sense. GlideWithAze. So that's how I came up, basically with the name GlideWithAze, and that stemmed from shout out to my brothers from South Cat.
Your content has like a very peaceful, meditative vibe about it. So was that intentional, or did it just evolve that way?
Just evolved that way. Me just really trying to find my own niche in my own way through YouTube. Honestly, there's other YouTube channels that I follow outside of moto vlogging that really gave me the inspiration. YouTube, and then that led me into a lot of you guys on the moto vlogs side of YouTube. So guys like CJ on 32s, Stunner Reese. He's actually the founder of the whole entire #1 Stunner Nation. But watching them actually have like vlog channels where they don't basically do no edits. Everything is a straight raw. They record it, upload it, put a couple of
stuff, huh?
Right. So, so it just, sent over, to this side, of YouTube for me. So
Gotcha. That's dope. So what's your first bike that you ever had?
Oh man, my first bike, I could,
Mine was
small,
very first one was also
50 cc's, because I'm really from the Bronx, New York. So we grew up riding everything from 50 cc's to dirt bikes, the Yamaha sports bikes, like pretty much I read it all. But my first bike was the little 50 cc, one of those 50 cc Yamahas.
I had this Kawasaki Vulcan 900, and I only paid a couple $1,000s for it, but you couldn't tell me nothing on that bad boy.
Right.
I thought that was the coolest thing since sliced bread, man.
Who you telling? But I felt like I was the man on my 900 till I got around some big bikes.
Yeah, that part. You get left and you're like, damn, where'd everybody go that I was riding around with?
So I started off with the 50 cc's, and like I said, just growing up, you know, riding everything else from dirt bikes to ATVs, you know, sports bikes, and then getting into the Harleys. So now my first Harley I had it was a 2011 Sportster Nightster, and I miss that bike to this day. I shouldn't have never got rid of that bike, but at that problem, everybody was leaving me, you know, so I had to step it up. And then I had that bike for 6 months, and then I ended up trading that bike in. Like I said, worst mistake ever. I traded that in and got a 2014 Rolling, and I had that bike for 6 months, and unfortunately, I had my accident. And then, like I said, now I have Athena, my 2013 Road Gloss EO.
Right on. You want to tell everybody about your accident? I know we talked about it a little bit before we went live, but since you brought it up.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Like I was telling the guys earlier, this happened back in 2018, October 9th, situation where another one of my club brothers at that time was having a memorial service for him and his girlfriend because they recently had just passed from a motorcycle accident. So I was leaving from the bike night memorial service that we was having for him, literally 2 minutes from house, riding past a gas station, crossing the intersection, guy texting and driving, young guy at the time, he was 28. His story was he needed to go to the store. So as I was passing the entrance of the gas station, he said he looked up, seen the store, and just turned the wheel. So as I was passing by on the entrance, he T-boned me, knocked me off the bike, dislocated broke my leg 3 places. My ankle was broke. My foot had to be reconstructed. My pinky toe was shattered, so they had to amputate my pinky toe. And so I basically was supposed to be paralyzed. And after a while, I came back. I couldn't walk for a year at least, so I had to go through therapy. So, you know, I'm back and I'm 100%. I'm riding, you know. Still deal with, you know, anxiety sometimes, depression sometimes from it, you know.
Yeah.
That's things that never gonna go away. You know, you just gotta.
True.
What I do is just take extra precaution riding. You know, I just pay more attention to other riders because they don't pay attention when we out there on the road. You know, definitely taking the riders class, like Skeeters, definitely helped me out as well because they also teach you a lot of safety things that you can do. I always like to give one key point riding that the riders class taught me is when you're traveling and the cars that's on the side that's getting ready to pull out, always pay attention to the front wheel because that's going to tell you which way in the direction the car is going to go and when it's moving instead of looking at the driver. Because you can look at the driver and the driver can have his head or her head turned one way and can be turning the other way. So, you know, they taught me to pay attention to the front tire, and that helps also. That way, you can also make your adjustment once you see us starting to move. So that's one key element that you guys can hopefully you guys take with you. And
that is something to implement. Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So I guess dare I say that would be the ride that changed your life, your accident?
Yeah,
or
absolutely. That's absolutely. It's definitely the ride that changed my life. To be honest with you, I didn't know if I was going to get back on, but my mother would surprise me. She was the one who told me, you know, son, get back on. That's I seen you was when you riding. It wasn't your fault. You wasn't speeding and everything. So she was, you only live once. She was like, get back on. And
sometimes you're doing everything right, and it has nothing to do with you.
It has nothing to do with you. Absolutely.
Because that's what happened. Not same situation, but the guy was looking in the opposite direction of the highway, 4-lane highway. He was looking this way as he turned down my lane to see if cars were coming, and just merged. Yeah. So, and then you know they had the audacity to say, "I'm sorry."
Yeah.
See you.
Yeah. So, Ski, what about you? Do you have you have any rides that really changed your perspective on everything?
Yeah. Me and my club, we was doing just a get out, just a get out ride. So we decided to head down to New Orleans. One of my club brothers is from New Orleans, and so we decided, hey, let's make a trip down there.
Right on.
So I had none of them. I had the Vulcan 1500, and it was down. That bike. You ask anybody who been with me, they know that bike stayed up and down. Like it was in the shop, out the shop, in the shop. So one of my brothers was like, "Hey, I'm not going to be able to make it. So just use my bike." I said, "Cool, appreciate it." So we riding down there. We get to, I can't think of the town's name, but we're on 65 about a couple of miles before Montgomery. It's exit 19. I can't think of the name of the town, but so
What, Montgomery?
everybody,
Are you coming from north or south?
I was going south.
Right on. So you probably
Uh,
passed Birmingham, Coleman, all kinds of places.
yeah, we was like I said, 65 south, headed towards New Orleans, and the road captain was about to pass the exit that we was going to basically get off on. So I shot up to tell him, hey, hey, we're getting off on this exit. So what's so crazy about it is that I rode that highway thousands of times. I actually stopped there before. I drive trucks, so it's like I've been there before. So this is kind of gonna be kind of sound crazy. So when I shot off, I didn't think on a bike that the curb was that deep. In the car or truck or whatever, it's like, okay, like I said, I've gotten off that exit plenty of times before.
Mm-hmm.
So on a bike, it felt, different. So, and I basically was coming in too hot,
Mm-hmm.
way too hot. And this is another reason why I don't like heel toe shifters. I'm used to just the toe shifter. So I'm coming in hot. And I said, "Oh crap!" So I start hitting the heel part because it's down shift. So everything so fast. So I try to hit the downshift. I hit the heel, think I'm going downshift, but I'm really going up. So once I let go of the clutch, the bike spun me out. Um, the president at the time, who was behind me, he said that the bike slammed me. He seen me get knocked out, and the bike flipped and got on top of me and drugged me 20 yards down on the concrete. So I'm thinking, like, what just happened? Like, this can't just happen. I know I just did not go down. And I'm not gonna lie, the first thing that came in my head, like, I just wrecked this man's bike. I'm going to pay for this man's bike. Because after I realized that, okay, I'm breathing, I'm moving, I'm like, okay, everything just left my mind. Now I was like, I gotta pay for this man's bike. And try to make the story quick. And so I'm looking at my arms. Okay, this arm is good. I looked at this arm. It's all peaked out and stuff. I said, okay, move my neck just a little bit. Okay, my neck is fine. I went to go move my legs. I said, I can't move my legs. I just broke both my legs. Oh my goodness. I just put my head down. And my president was like, hey man, come help me grab the bike up off of him. So I got happy. I said, okay, the bike is on me. That's why I couldn't move my legs. And just that instant, I said, why didn't I feel this bike on me? I'm paralyzed.
All that adrenaline.
I'm like, oh my goodness. So how it changed me was that, well, one, I got the helmet over there. I will go grab, but I don't ride half helmets. Like that's one of the main reasons I don't ride half helmets. And because if you the side of the helmet where I smacked, and I smacked and it drugged me. So no half helmets. Now I'm not gonna lie, when I went to Galveston, there's a video of me like I didn't have on a helmet, but we was going like that fast, and it was just down the street. And you know, in the video, I said, yeah, this probably be my last time doing that. It felt good, but I'm like, anything can happen. So when I smacked, it was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe that this happened. So how it changed me was, it took about, I got right back on the bike, but what changed me was curves. Like I was terrified. Like I could not lean in the curve because I was just so afraid of falling again. And when pain happens, I mean, everybody, you know, done had pain, and you do not want that again. It was like this now, unlike Haze, like I just had just scraped knees. My arm was pinked out. Nothing was broken. Just gashes on my knees. So it wasn't, you know, to Haze's stance, but like I don't want it to get like that. You know, my mind was just so terrified of me falling and somebody now running over me. Like,
right.
I think they call
I
that
was just
PTSD.
terrified about. Yes, definitely.
I mean, I'm not trying to make a joke. I think that's PTSD at its finest.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, it was about 6 or 8 months before I actually was able to lean in the curve. Like I tell the group, like, you know, hey, I'm in the back, because it's like, you know, I catch up with y'all, you know. So like going in the curves on highways, especially highways, like my mind goes, like I said, PTSD, like it flashed back quickly to that accident. And it's like feeling that pain, like I felt my arm burning again. I felt this rock that they took out my knee that was about this long, because the bike drugged me and a rock caught up in my knee. So all that pain, just like I felt it. So it took me a minute to get back right.
I know what you mean. It took me when I got out of the hospital. I was in the hospital for a while after losing my leg, and I was able to, like, I call it a hoe bath in the hospital. But when I got back home and I was able to shower for the first time, and that hot water touched my skin, I couldn't handle it. It felt like my skin was on fire again. It felt like I was burning. I was like, dude, let me take a cold shower, and that was fine. But I know what you mean. It's crazy. If I'm on the highway now driving and somebody pulls out in front of us, even if I'm in the passenger seat, my heart starts racing, and it's just it is those little things that and your anxiety goes. So I understand. I get it. Absolutely.
I could be with TV shows and stuff like it. If I see something, you know, happen, I'll be like, ooh, you know, just be cringing now, you know. So it's just,
and trust me, he's not cut off is not lying, because when I was in Tennessee riding, you could see that man, like he was like a dad hawking you the entire time out that window. And that's one thing I will say. Yeah, man. But I do have a question for Skeeter. So how do you feel that your platform helps and aid in like mental health? Because like you are always trying to make people laugh, and you're always staying, you know, with a high level of energy. So do you think that aids with the PTSD that you? I'm not a doctor, but the assume PTSD that you've gained over the time.
So with my channel, like my channel started off of basically watching two people is what really sealed the deal of me starting my channel, and that was Trouble 2 times, and Wood
Shout out
Jr.
Trouble 2 times.
Yes, and Wood Jr. down in Savannah. He's not with no club. He just, you know, just posts videos up. But high energy, and it's like, yeah, like, you know, I want to start this because I, like, before my YouTube, I like putting together videos, like just like my family was like, hey, we finna have this function. Can you put us together a video? And you know, I do the editing. I like doing editing and stuff like that. And it was really just to capture my moments. I really wasn't trying to have an audience or whatever. It was just that, you know, video speaks louder than pictures. So it's like, you know, we all gotta, everybody who's breathing got to cross this bridge. So it's like when we do, I don't want pictures. I want videos. Like, you know, how was, you know, he, you know, what was he like, you know? And it's like, okay, well, hey, let's pull up some videos. And my videos, I try to, like I said, make people laugh because a little personal thing about me is like I go through depressions in and out. So it's like I try to find my happy place. I try to, you know, make people laugh because I know how it is of being depressed. Depression is a MF. It's nothing to play with depression, and it's like so. With being on this podcast, I go ahead and say because you know we all you know talk to each other, whatever. You know, we all on the same page. Like I actually tried to off myself twice. This was a long time ago, and it was like both times failed. And then it was just at that point, once the second attempt didn't happen, I said, you know what? Thank God got something for me.
Right.
So fast forward to all the way now to your question is like that, you know, one reason why, you know, I didn't do it a third time was that my grandma, like she means so much to me. Like everybody else do in my family, but my grandma, I just could not see her or picture her at my casket.
Yeah.
Heartbroken. So like she's like one of the main reasons why number 3 didn't happen. So, but fast forward to your question is that seeing that I started to get, you know, good vibes and people, you know, cheering me on and going to places like, hey man, I'll follow you, you know, hey man, keep up the good work. And it's like that does something to me and it does something to my mental, like it really helps to keep me going and you know to do these videos knowing like I said I don't really you know talk much about you know the mental health, but so I try to keep everything positive, you know, like Trouble said, like you know there's way more good out here than what the news portrays and or what they want to portray. Like it's a lot of good. It's a lot of good fellas out here. It's a lot of good community stuff going on out here. You know, like with Haze, Rare Breed, they do a lot of good stuff. And it's like, you know, I just want just to show the positive, like Trouble and like everybody else on here. And then, like I said, with me, I like to throw a little comical stuff in there, you know, just to try to get people to laugh and, you know, to smile. And that's why, you know, in my channel is smiling. Smile. You know, smile goes a long way. Sometimes it can be masked, but if you're around good people, you know, you're going to smile and it's going to be genuine. So to your question, like that's how like seeing my channel grow. It does something to my mental since we're you know talking about mental, like it does something to that, and it just keeps me going in the positive direction.
So I actually had experiences with that. As far as like me getting out the service, you know, Marine Corps vet here, honorably, you know what I'm saying, discharged and whatnot. And but what really made me get into riding was the fact that it was something I started doing when I was in California. And when I lost my bike and everything, then going through stuff with me getting out the service,
Mhm.
I didn't know what my life was going to be. You know what I'm saying? Getting out, because all I wanted to do was be a Marine. That's literally all I wanted. And knowing that my career was cut short and stuff like that, and I didn't get a chance to meet certain accolades in my life, and then a bunch of other personal issues with, you know, with family and, you know, things of that nature. I got to a rock bottom point where, you know, I was literally by myself. You know what I'm saying? Where I was stationed at, I had no friendship that was like that deep.
Right.
I had no family there. I was literally just there. You know, there's times I'll be at the hospital myself, and I've had 3 failed attempts. You know, and it's it definitely can get to you. You know what I'm saying? It weighs heavy on your heart and on your mind, and then you got to realize, like, you got people that's here, but at the same time you still feel that loneliness. So what I would do is I would make people laugh, you know, and I still tell, you know, great stories. You know, Cutoff can contest to this. I tell stories about when we was back in Okinawa on the island. You know what I'm saying? Like, I try to travel more now so I can see, you know, my brothers that I did have out there on the island, because I know at the end of the day, you know, they always got my back. And
Speaking of that, shout out to Two T's, man. That was one of our boys in Okie who unfortunately succumbed to his demons. But Two T's was a good cat, man.
yeah. So that leads me to speaking of friendships, you know, like, how has your channel led you to unexpected friendships or moments of connections?
Your Hayes.
Oh,
Anybody?
you Skeeter.
Me, man, meeting all these people, like I just never would have. I never pictured just going out and, you know, like saying, you know, people say, you know, they follow me, you know, they watch me, you know, they, you know, keep up good work, you know, your channel's funny. Like, I just like meeting people with the same mind frame. Not always the same, but just, you know, I just like to meet good people, and being on the bike set, like even without the YouTube channel, like just meeting just good solid folks. You'll be surprised of who you would meet out here riding bikes. Like, yeah, you know, they have the vest on, you know, whatever. Like, you just never know what that person do outside of this. So just meeting, I just like just to meet folks, and then going down to Slidell to GQ's function, Unleash the Peace. Can't wait for Unleash the Peace 3. Shout out to GQ. Like, going down there, like just meeting all y'all, it was like that. I said on my video, like, this is by far right now, I could put this probably at the top, probably within the top 5 of the best year of my life. Like, I can literally put that there, you know, just meeting everybody.
Yeah.
Man, just like I said, meeting good folks does something to you. Like, because I kind of like pull off of people's energy. So it's like, if you're in a negative energy, you know, I just basically just flash back the negative energy.
Right.
And sometimes, you know, I just go about my day, but I don't like doing that. So when I'm around
Right.
positive people, like, you get these good videos out. You get me smiling a lot. You get me, as I'm doing now, just talking. You know, people tell you I like to talk. So just with this channel and meeting people, like, I think, like, dang, is this what being famous is like? Like, all right.
Right on.
I like it. So if anybody on there, you know, hey, just speak to me. You know, I'll speak back. Hit me up. You know, hey, come take a ride with me, man. I like meeting and riding with good people, good folks. So I like to travel. So, you know, hey.
I think that's how most of us ended up in motorcycle clubs. You just
Right.
want that brotherhood and camaraderie and that same fundamentals and the foundations.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right.
So how do you feel about it, Hayes?
Man, I kind of feel the same way, man. I just appreciate everything, man. You know, words can't express it, bro. Like, to be honest with you, you know.
So I got a question for you. How do you balance the art of writing with the art of filming?
With the art of writing and the art of filming.
Yeah, how have you balanced it, writing and filming together? Like,
I'm I'm still working on some kinks, but the way I'm getting through my journey and learning that balance, is you definitely gotta have the cameras to be able to get it done. First of all, you gotta turn them cameras on, because that's one thing, sometimes I'll be you gotta turn them cameras on. That's the first balance of it all. You gotta turn them cameras on. But just having your camera set up, good camera set up, your microphone, and also, having good places that you want to ride to and things like that. Sometimes it's just not just putting your camera on and just recording and riding and stuff like that. You want to have, like, places that can remind you of different things. Monumental places and stuff like that. But for me, keeping that balance, having good people around me, that also helps me to balance my riding and, being able to record, keeps me going. That keeps my passion for it going, because I got people in my corner saying, hey, it's going, keep doing your thing. You got something going. And then when I come home, I get that same love. I'm out there on the road, I got my family in my corner. And then when I come home, they like, did you get stuff on film? What you got recorded? We can't wait to see what you got going on, so, then I got all my friends on the set, so that helps me keep, the balance and stuff like that. But definitely, you have to keep it in mind frame, like, don't worry about what other people are thinking, because you get looks when you're holding the cameras and things like that in the public.
I
Even
was
when
going to ask, have you ran into anybody that's like, hey, get that camera out of my face?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You get those people that just shy away from the camera, just not used to being on camera or don't want to be on camera. Um, I haven't ran into the rudeness of it, so to speak.
Right.
But I have ran into people that like, yeah, I don't want to be on camera type. Like, all right, that's all right. It's all good.
Yeah, I feel you. So I got a question really for, I guess both of you could answer it if you wanted to, but what would be your message to new writers coming in through the culture through YouTube rather than the Clubhouse?
Hmm. Always do your due diligence first.
Agree.
Hang on a little bit, to see which culture is going to be. That's first and foremost for me, because when you join a club, you're joining a brotherhood or sisterhood. You want that to be a life experience. You know what I'm saying? So these are people that you're going to be spending a lot of time with, and the biggest thing of it all is trust. These are people that you're going to have to instill in trust with, because when you're out there on the road, away from your family, and you're away from your family and your friends that you're around in the city. So when you're out there on that road, you got to be able to have that trust. For though, I would definitely say do your due diligence on both sides. Because figure it out through the Clubhouse way. I think it'd be easy for you to come through on the YouTube side.
Yeah.
Because then it'll come across as genuine at that point, because you have your friends and your family behind you at that point, and they understand what you got going on. So
Gotcha.
that's how make sure you do your due diligence on what you want to do first.
Same way. with the club is just that you just gotta just find the right one. Like saying, just if you know somebody in a club, just hey, can I just come just hang out, whatever, and that right there will show you. It can show you whether especially if you really. I would say first of all, let me rewind. First of all, ride by yourself. Ride by yourself.
Ride a lot.
Yes, like get out by yourself. I just feel that too many people will get into the club life now that social media is showing everything, and I think people just gets into stuff just because of just what they see on social media, and you just may get into the wrong club or just some stuff may just happen. It may turn you off. So I would say, first of all, just ride by yourself, and then you will get that feeling that I want to ride with somebody. Like you will see a pack just ride by, and you be like, yeah, I want to ride. Then you find that one and just hang out with them, and it may not be that club that you went to go hang out with. It could be another club.
The first club you run into, you should not always just jump into head first.
No,
that's not the answer. I promise you. Throwing on some rags and that's not going to make you any more of a man.
Yeah, because my first one was a Christian bike group, and that was my first group ride. And the president there was like, hey, you want to join it? I said, nah, let me ride just a little bit more. And I was like, I told a previous club that, if I ever decide to ride, I'm trying to be a man of my word, that I would try to, see what they're about, and then, potentially probably join them, which is the club I'm in now. So one reason why I turned the first one down, and two, like saying, it's like, no, this is just like the vibe just wasn't. There was cool people. There was real good people. Just that I just wasn't like. It didn't feel comfortable. So most definitely, like Hayes says, like, hey, do your homework. I say ride by yourself first till you get that bug. You will get the bug. Trust me, you will get that bug of, hey, I want to do some, group riding. Hey, now I want to join a club. And once you do your homework and you follow these guys, like Hayes says, like these are brothers now. Like it's like any other type of fraternity, in college or stuff like that, or playing sports. It's like these are your brothers. It's like you got to trust these guys. And then once you do that, like
you got down that road and you're riding
like
3 inches, like it can
get
hectic. And you have to trust them.
Yeah, the YouTube thing, like saying, that will come along depending on what type of club you're in. That that will allow you to videotape or whatever. But like I said, the YouTube stuff is like that comes and goes. Like
I think a big thing is just get out, watch your YouTube, learn from whoever you want to learn from, watch all these channels, watch whoever, but get out there and actually ride and go meet somebody on the street or go meet somebody at a gas station or a rest area. Do your due diligence. Sure, absolutely learn about clubs, learn about motorcyclism, learn about the culture. Don't learn about, I would suggest learn your city history, your state history, national, learn as much as you possibly can. And don't keep blinders on.
I'm telling you, because it's definitely, MCing is definitely a lifestyle, and a lot of people don't understand this on this side of the tracks, but it's definitely a lifestyle, and it's you can definitely catch a liking to it very quick. So like Cut Off saying, man, just all around, cross all your T's and dot all your I's, and make sure that you're joining the right one for you.
Yes.
And Shawil says this all the time to me. He says, ride your ride. And I believe that's a real thing. You have to find where you fit. Fit in where you get in, or whatever the saying goes. But
right.
Yeah.
And also, when you ride solo, don't just ride with any random group because trust me, I've seen my fair share of
Dude, I
things
dogged
going
him out about
wrong.
these Facebook groups to start riding.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I,
man,
yeah.
you got to be
I don't
careful riding
now,
with these people.
now. Don't get me wrong. Like I do have, my fair share of people that I do ride with from the Facebook group out here in Connecticut, but not
Yeah,
not
we still
everybody.
y'all. Y'all are good guys.
Yeah,
Right.
and pretty good people.
But he knows who I'm making fun of. But we won't say it. We're live. I won't say it out loud.
but I have seen my fair share of people, not just out here, but when I was in Cali too, where you ride with a group of people that you just met, and it's like, you're not comfortable with everybody's riding style because either they're brand new or they've been riding for a while and they just still haven't got the concept of the fact that you got to ride safe or else somebody's not going home. So, and I just want to call out the fact that Skeeter here said that he got offered to join a Christian club and he followed the Bible and turned the other cheek. So you're not gonna go. You not gonna get away from that. I'm just letting you know that right now. So he tried to be smooth with it, but nah,
Right.
you ain't getting away from that one. Just know.
Yeah, I thought that was too, bro.
just know.
Yeah.
we going to the same place because I caught that one.
Yeah, I caught that one too, bro.
Yeah, he that man. That man smooth turned him down. That's messed up, bro. That's messed up.
It just
That's okay. But I'll be honest with you, I've seen some Christian clubs that they
Oh yeah, they
do their
ground
fair
pound.
share. Yeah, they do their fair share stuff.
Hey, I'm gonna give a shout out to my boy Bobby. He's with a motorcycle ministry, and that man rides his bike,
Right.
rain or shine.
Yeah.
I think this man probably would even ride in snow. That man rides his bike. So
Hey, power
kudos
to
to Bobby. So he knows who he is.
Hey, shout out to GQ and my Ricks from Rare Breed, man. They out there on the ground, Alaska, man. That's some powerful stuff and motivating stuff right there, man.
Right on. That's
One day it was hot, the next day it was cold for them.
Hey, I think it was like that for everybody that was on the road. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But for all the ground pounders out there, man, y'all just keep doing what y'all doing. So I'm gonna give a shout out to all those people out there ground pounding.
Crossing state lines, man. That's what it's
Yup.
all about. That's what this whole thing's about.
What is it? Just Gab 757. Give her a shout out because she definitely crossed some state lines. She was definitely doing some ground pound.
That Iron Butt challenge.
Yeah.
Serious.
Goofy.
So, yeah. So definitely give a shout out to her. Give a shout out to Ro. Got definitely show love to Trouble. And everyone that came on the show that be out there ground pounding and you guys as well.
That's right.
You guys definitely hitting the road hard. So keep doing what you're doing, man. Like I love seeing you guys do what you do, and it's definitely helping out. Also in our comments, because I'm gonna take the moment to shout out people in the comments because they are in here. Red Eye. I want to give a shout out to him as well. I be seeing their vids too, right? Yeah.
That's my breed, brother.
Yeah, they be out there ground pounding. Hogging Lanes. Give a shout out to Hogging Lanes as well. So all you guys that's out here watching the live, hey, keep doing what you're doing. If you out there on a bike, if you're thinking about getting a bike, if you're new to riding, take this knowledge in, not just hear it and let it go in one ear and out the other, because this right here is some good knowledge and some good gems that they dropping on you.
Mm-hmm.
This is somebody who's been around for.
Please go get those endorsements, y'all. Please get them endorsements.
Don't be the reason your pack gets fucking stuck on the side of the road.
Man,
I can't say nothing. I didn't have a motorcycle license for so long, and I rode around. But
right, that was us being young, but yeah,
it's good to have that.
It is absolutely
right. Because a lot of us want to, this ground pounding and wanting to cross these state lines, and you gotta have those credentials when you crossing these state lines.
Motorcycle tags.
Yeah, motorcycle tags. All
I've seen the same cat with the same bike with that same damn dealership tag on the back of his bike for the last 5 years. We ride together. I said, "Oh, you ever gonna get a tag?" No, sir. I ain't got a license. I said, "Hey, man." Peace and love. He said that was the dude though. If we're gonna get pulled over, he's gonna take off. We're gonna be okay. But at least you know your mission in life. As long as you know your role, if you're gonna do that, then stick to it. Don't pull over with us. Don't all pull over and get us stuck.
And I want to say this in case anybody misunderstood what you guys were saying. They're not saying if you're not in the MC, they're not telling you that you have to be in the MC to do YouTube. They're not saying that. So just in case someone that it was kind of like, huh? So I gotta be an MC.
Which I've been saying that, and I'll say this too, man. I guess I need to make an apology because not really an apology. I'm not gonna apologize for anything. But the last episode, I said something about sometimes I think this stuff makes people too available, but that's a double-edged sword because within that same breath, I think this is good because it makes people see that these aren't outlaws, these aren't bad guys, these aren't all these bad things that there's a bunch of stuff that says who. I made this comment that I've never said what I am. I never called myself an outlaw or 1% or nothing like that. You civilians will label you what they want to label you, and other people can call you what they want to call you. You just always be true to yourself and let others label you what they want to label you. But with this thing for YouTube, I think it's good and bad because you do want to. Let me say this: be respectful. Don't just walk up to somebody and fucking slap them on the back and call them brother and be like, I want to ride with you. I'm going to be in your club. Because you're not. You have to earn those positions. That's like going to Paris Island and saying I'm a Marine. Watch you get throat punched. You know what I'm saying? Like you earn.
Well, maybe not now. Maybe not now you won't. But back in the day, yeah.
But that's just so. This is all fun and games. It's all. Everybody's going to treat you different. But don't get discouraged. Don't go out there and say, oh well, this guy didn't shake my hand. This guy didn't acknowledge me because you might not know. Maybe you didn't take your glasses off. Maybe you take your gloves off. Maybe there's so many little minute things that maybe you don't know, but that's what this stuff is for. But it's also good to go out there and learn from experience. Get your ass chewed out because you didn't know something. And then I promise you're going to learn better.
Just feedback, like, don't do the YouTube because I see a lot of dumb people out here on social media. Don't get into the bike club to personally gangs like
don't pimp out the patch. That's right.
Like nothing is bigger than the club. So don't go into the I started my that's what I'm talking. Like you want to start a YouTube channel. I mean, hey, that's good and dandy, but don't start a YouTube page and want to just build on your own and just want to just be above the club. Like you will never be above the club. So if you want to do the YouTube and then get into a bike club, but make sure that this is what you really like saying. It's a lifestyle. Just make sure that this is really what you want to do because when we call you brother, our brother, we really mean that. So people who want to do the YouTube and then the bike thing, but like I said, there's nothing wrong with that. Just make sure if you want to get into the bike life, that this is really what you want to do. Like I said, Wood Jr., like he's not in a club, like he's having a ball of doing what he does with the bike content. So it's like you don't have to be in a club to, but it's just it'll give you, I would say it would give you better content, I mean, because you always hearing events and going to events and stuff like that, that helps out. But just like the three of y'all said, it's like, nah, we're definitely not saying that in order to do YouTube for bikes and stuff like that, or videotape, a club, you got to be in the MC. You don't. It's just that,
Now I will say this. I'm gonna say this part. If you've never been in a club and you start talking about club stuff, it's gonna be very hard for me to listen to what you have to say. I will say that.
Yeah. Please, yeah. That's a good one.
So I do have a question for both. Either one of you can answer it. Mm-hmm. In one sentence, what's your ride philosophy?
My ride philosophy would be, I always would just tell them to just make it home safe. Mm-hmm. I just say make it home safe.
That's a good question. Never even thought of it like that. Philosophy.
Soon as I
that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one. Like I really never thought about that. Like my thought process is just, man, getting on these twos and just clearing my mind. If you want to say wind therapy, since we are started on mental health, like these bikes behind me, no matter, like, I had different avenues of relieving stress, releasing my mind, which was, lifting weights, football, going to the gun range. Football went downhill. I get in the gym when I can. The gun range, because of my truck schedule, was like, but these behind me, when I say no matter where my mind frame is, um, it is true, y'all. So for ones who's in here, do not ride on the bike angry. That's one. Calm down for a second, then hop on a bike, because I did that one time, was pissed the hell off, and almost got T-boned by a car. So calm first, then hop on a bike. But once I'm on a bike, I take that good road, clear my mind. So I guess, man, when therapy, like, this is like,
It's an amazing
I
thing.
think that thing you said about your name, how you got your name, I think that should be your motto.
Yeah.
How you explained your name. That's pretty cool. I like that. That was very touching.
And I just want to leave with
That was
one
dope.
last question. So, because I feel like everybody want to know this too. What's your favorite destination you've hit, and what made that special to you? Either one of y'all can answer this. Well, both of y'all can answer, actually.
Hey, go ahead.
Oh, so far, man, the stood out for me. I'm keep it a buck. Key West, and that's because when I look back at my footage and looking at all the bridges and going through all those small towns, and then at the end of all of it, you being at the point where you can't go no more, and just seeing the worst of water, being at that point. At this point to date, that Key West has it for me. That Key West ride has
Me,
We can't hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you. Nope, still can't hear you.
I don't know what's going on. Damn. A little bit.
Yeah, it was a little bit coming back in.
We about to say Silent Hill was his favorite destination.
Jesus.
God dang. Jesus Christ.
I don't know what happened. How am I
Oh, yeah.
sounding?
There you go. You're here. There.
Okay.
Yeah, you're there.
I don't know what happened. It was Galveston, the Lone Star Rattling.
Okay.
Man, riding out there with my cousin. Shout out to him. Easy. No dues, no rules, no dues. And man, riding out to Galveston was different. The atmosphere was different. Like, I didn't want to leave Galveston. Like, I was thinking about moving out there. Like that's how good it was. And from that point, I'm like, yeah, Galveston's gonna be there's no end of the trip for me. So Galveston will always gonna be on my riding list, no matter what it is, because the food was great, the people was great, the ride was great. Looking out at the Gulf was just lovely at all times, just riding across the Gulf. So for me, out of all the rides I've done, Galveston is that ride.
Right.
So who would you both say was your biggest influence to get into this whole riding thing, this whole MC culture? Just who's your influence that made you want to do this?
For me, it was like saying, to get into the bike my cousin who passed away. And then once I got into it, just to get into a club, just my club brothers, like all of them, shout out to Elite Riders, everybody in there. I felt comfortable. They made me feel good. Like I like them some real solid guys. Like they will do. That's another thing about brother. Like finding the good club for you. Like once you find your brother, like they will do, anything for you. So to get in the MC when I first met him, it was like, yeah, like just everybody from the top to the bottom. Then the YouTube thing, like saying, it was Trouble and Wood Jr. that got me into the want to film the YouTube contents of the bike set. So shout out to Junior, Wood Jr., Trouble, and the whole Elite Riders, because they're the one who got me into this. They're the one who, well, let me rewind for just a hot second. My cousin, who introduced me to Elite Riders, name's Demetrius. Everybody call him Big Meat. So shout out to Meat for actually getting me into the clubs. I know he's watching this, and I know he's gonna be like, "Hey, I'm the one who introduced you to the club." So shout out to him. But once he introduced me to the group, it's like, yeah.
Haze, what about you, brother?
Yeah, for me, like I said, it started for me being a shorty. Like I said, I'm up from Bronx, New York. So like, just seeing everybody riding and Prospect Ave, Castle Hill, Gun Hill, you just growing up seeing all the riders, then me getting into it myself growing up. Then, later on in life, I moved here to South Carolina 2010. Lost my father 2012. So at that point in my life, not growing up with my father, I used to always visit him summertimes, it's like that. So he was around, but it's not always, throughout the year because, military and all that, whatever. But like I said, I moved 2010, he passed 2012, and at that point I was like, well, I figure out something new, So a guy I was working with named Mitch introduced me to the set out here. And once he introduced me to the set, it was on from, I got introduced to, what was the first club I got introduced out here? What was that? It was SCLX. It was a car club that was doing some stuff out there. So, that basically opened up the floodgate for me once I got on the set. Started meeting up with stuff like that. Got involved with South Cat, my first club. And from that point, like that club was local. That club basically, I don't know, it's like brother, but I don't know what they got right now. But the thing that really inspired me to come back to the to riding set, because I really took a break. I took like 4 years off. And that basically like after my accident, because after the accident, that's when things started slowing down a bit. Because at that time, our club at that time, we went through a lot of traumatic things with a few members and stuff like that. That caused the club to slow down tremendously. And then after, like I said, after my accident, I got into like my law stuff, so you can see all here and stuff. So I took from riding and all that stuff after I got and everything. And I was on YouTube, you know, watching different channels, and GQ. Even though he's a brother, I got to give it to him because he's the one who really inspired me to really come back after my accident, because he has the same similar story. I'm not sure if you all heard his story as well, but you know, the brother had to be airlifted, you know, punctured lungs, and you know, he broke up pretty bad. And you know, just hearing his story, it basically inspired me for me to get back on my bike, you know. And at that point, I was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna come back to riding, and I think I want to start my YouTube channel so, you know, I can get my passion of riding out. I can tell my story, and also, you know, if something I say or something I do can help the next person along,
Right.
if that does it, you know, I'm happy with that, you know. So that was that's mainly one of my main reasons for me, and getting re-involved into motorcycling, back into being back on the set and entering a club. So shout out to my brother DQ, rare breed or nothing.
Right on. Well, this it's 8:07. I'm gonna ask one more question. Then if Shawil has anything, but what do you guys want your legacy on two wheels to be? What is your legacy on two wheels?
I would say my legacy on two wheels, it would be I really just want people to see me for who I am, my journey. Take my journey and make it a part of yours, and take your journey and pass that on. You know, so I just really want people to understand that, you know, motorcycling is a serious thing, but you all can get a lot of joy from it. You know, it's a lot free. You know, it frees your mind and like that. So you know, that would be my take. You know, that would be my take.
Food, that food, he rides his. Like he said, man, I just want just people who sees me just like think about get into this.
You're going in and out. You're gonna have to like rewind and then start all over because we can't hear anything.
You hear me now?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, you're good.
Yep.
Okay.
There you go.
I just want to just people to just be like, this man rides his bike. This man rides any and everywhere. I just want to just bring people along with me. I just want to just show people that, on this side of the tracks, like it is fun. It is cool. Whether it's a Harley, a cruiser, or whatever, as long as you on two wheels, I just want people to know to just ride out, knowing that if I'm a part of that, of helping them to get to that point, like that, it just words can't explain of how much joy would be an understatement. But I just want my legacy to be that, hey, man, he gets out, have a good time, and always, like I say, keeps a smile on his face and want to make people laugh and put smiles on their face.
That's right.
Shawil, do you have anything?
Almost brought a tear to my eye, man. Nah, honestly, fellas, like, I'll be honest, like I do appreciate you guys. I can't say enough. You guys coming up here tonight and opening up. I know it can't be easy, especially as men coming up here and opening up, saying things that you've said, especially when it comes to like mental health and past, traumas and things that have happened and being in a dark space, and I'm pretty sure the chat here can agree with me when I say this, but we are glad that, you both are still here with us and able to share your stories, and that you guys are going to keep going forward and doing great things. Because, like I said, I understand where you came from, Skeeter, with with the attempts and whatnot. And as you see, Cutoff, he actually understands where y'all come from when it comes to going down and being in accidents and whatnot. I mean, I know this man since since when
We've
he
known
lost
each other
his
since 2013, I think it was. It's been at least.
yeah, since he lost his fingers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And uh things like that. Speaking about brotherhood and being able to open up like this, it's a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? Pause, no homo. But it's a great thing. Hey, I'm from Coney Island, you know what I'm saying? You know, y'all Bronx guys don't really talk Coney Island like that. But it's all right, it's all right.
I love, baby.
It's all
All right,
love.
gentlemen. Well, we had 2 bikes, 2 minds, 1 unforgettable ride, from peace to purpose, joy to journey. These 2 brothers showed us that the road is more than blacktop, it's a mirror. You reflect who you are every time you hit it. And tonight we rode with 2 men who make that reflection count. Big shout outs to Haze, big shout out to Riding, Gliding, and Smiling for sharing their stories, their energy, and their voice. Every mile is a memory, every voice is a legacy. We'll catch y'all on the next lane. Peace and love. Stay dangerous.
Say
And
one.
remember, keep them twos down.
We'll just say one thing before we go. Everybody who's on here, or for all of us, like I said, mental health. Always check on somebody. Always just call and just be like, "Hey, are you okay?" And most importantly, always check on the one who has the biggest smile, because deep down, like I said, that smile could just be a mask. So even the one who has the biggest smile, definitely go to them and be like, "Hey, are you okay?" So I want to just thank y'all for having me on here. Big shout out to all my family. Big shout out to everybody that I met. Big shout out to the club, Elite Riders, and big shout out to everybody who has gotten me to this point. And I appreciate that from bottom of my heart. Thank y'all.
Thank you, brother.
Good night, everyone.
Peace.
Thank y'all.